Thank you very much, Brent. And here at the Anaheim Coliseum, it has been all Minnesota from the very beginning as the Vikings took the opening kickoff and went 70 yards to a touchdown. There was a big play from Wade Wilson to Anthony Carter, which really started the drive. There was a fourth down conversion by Darren Nelson, and then the touchdown pass was more of the same of what the Vikings have been getting in the early season, Ken Stabler.
Yeah, the very thing. The touchdown pass, they bring the tight end across, and the thing down on the goal line that gives defenses an awful lot of trouble is crossing routes. And you see Wade Wilson coming back. You see Carl Hilton, the tight end, coming underneath in front of Newsom, dives into the end zone. Those crossing things down around the goal line are awfully tough.
And, of course, Kenny, as you pointed out early in the game, Anthony Carter made the big play last week, did it again twice today. Here's the second touchdown.
Well, you see the scrambling ability of Wade Wilson gives him the opportunity to do this, plus his strong arm. Anthony Carter, the big play receiver for years, gets behind him, and the scrambling ability made that happen.
So we can see how well the Vikings have been playing on offense. The Rams have a total of 27 yards passing. They lost their last 3 regular season games last year. They were miserable in the opener against Houston last week. It almost seemed impossible they could be worse today, but they have been.
There's absolutely no continuity to their team whatsoever, Jim. They penalize themselves. Their pass protection is broken down in areas. Their running game doesn't seem to be doing very well. They seem to get Everett seems to be confused at times, and maybe it's because of the new offense of Ernie Zampese. Maybe everyone is not on the same page yet.
So John Robinson had a monumental task facing at halftime as the Rams went to the locker room trailing 14-0. Vikings are playing pretty well. We'll be back for the second half right after this.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets. IBM. And by Ryder. We're there at every turn.
So we bring you back to Anaheim Stadium in Anaheim, California, and you look at halftime statistics which show the Vikings' complete domination of the game.
Only because of the inconsistency, the penalties, the broken assignments, the offensive line is broken down. It's just that they haven't had any kind of consistency or continuity in any phase of their game, even in special teams.
And of the 160 Viking passing yards, 131 of them came on the 3 big plays, 2 to Carter and 1 to Steve Jordan down the middle. Now Chuck Nelson, former Washington Husky, will prepare to kick it away for the Vikes. Charles White and Mickey Sutton are deep to receive for the Rams. And this time it is White who will set it down, and Jim Everett will try to forget everything which has happened to this point in the regular season. 3 halves behind him, none of them memorable, as he begins this second half trailing 14-zip.
I'm sure they went into halftime and got on the blackboard, figured out what's going wrong, and try to correct their mistakes, throw out the bad, keep the good, and try to get something going. The defense has kept them as close as it is, 14-0. First of the half, still in good shape.
How much help is the blackboard when you're as bad as they've been?
I think it's good, Jim, to understand what you've been doing that's bad. As far as what's good, you have to just get out there and get a feel of it and play and find out what you can do.
Safety blitz. Dickerson gets the football and gets across the 25 up to the 27-yard line before Wyman Henderson made the stop for the Vikings along with number 99, David Howard. Well, that's one way to get going. Part of the Zampese offense, and we've spoke a great deal in the first half about the new Ram offensive coordinator, Ernie Zampese, who's come up the coast from the San Diego Chargers to try to widen the parameters of the passing game for L.A. Included among that, Dickerson used more as a receiver. On 2nd and 3, it is Dickerson as a runner, and he has the first down.
Get the ball in the hands of the guy who's going to do the most for it. Like you said, Jim, they need to get the ball in his hands in more ways than just to pitch and running the ball off tackle and inside. They need to get him out on screens and on safety valves and get him in the passing game. They say he is not a natural receiver, but can catch the ball and has good hands.
Solomon and Studwell there to make the stop for the Vikings. 4-yard gain for Dickerson. He's carried 11 times for 44 yards. Damone Johnson now in the game at tight end for the Rams. They need a receiver at that position. David Hill doesn't fill the bill. Everett looks for Damone Johnson and gets the flag. It was the strong safety, Joey Browner, who came over and got a hand on
you see him come in the game, when you see Johnson come in the game, he's a great receiver. He got an awful lot of speed. He's a type player that you have to try to get down the seams, which they tried to do then.
There's Cashin's signal. Interference against the Vikes. The ball.
Pass interference. Number 47 on the defense. First down.
That's the thing that a good tight end that can run, that has the speed to get in the middle. Like you hear, when he has the speed to get this deep, it puts an awful lot of pressure on the safeties, puts the pressure on Browner, puts the hand on him here, and causes the flag.
If he just held the right hand back, he had perfect coverage, and the pass was not catchable for Damone Johnson. Now 2 tight ends in there for the Rams. Hill, the non-receiver, is to the upper side of the screen. Everett wants Eller. Wyman Henderson with perfect coverage.
Good coverage. Got to test them deep. Every series of downs, it's good to throw 4 or 5 deep passes a game, whether they're complete or not. It forces the defensive backs to respect the deep throw so you can do your underneath things.
There are the numbers on Everett, and they don't count, of course, the 2 passes which have brought pass interference calls. Those have really been the 2 biggest yardage producers in the passing arsenal for L.A.
Penalty plays.
McGee and Dickerson behind Everett on 2nd down, 10. Dickerson. Not a lot of room against the Viking defense. Number 97 is Henry Thomas.
Trying to get something started behind Dennis Harrow and Jackie Slater, probably the 2 stronger blockers on the offensive line, trying to get something going behind them, but played very well by the Viking defense.
The nose guard, Henry Thomas, the rookie out of LSU, 3rd-round draft choice, got a game ball for his performance against the Lions last week, as did on the offensive side the other rookie starter, DJ Dozier.
3 wides, Jim.
3rd and 10. Everett's got room. Now it closes up. Jesse Solomon takes the chance at a free shot on Everett.
Everett looks very, very tentative. He's scrambling with the ball. He had a chance to go straight up the field, get close to the first down, dive in, and maybe get the first down, but he seemed to have a lot of indecision there. He didn't know where he wanted to go, up field or out of bounds. And you'll notice on the replay, you'll see this. He had a chance right here to keep going upfield, dive in, and keep from taking the hit. Elects to go to the sidelines too late and takes the hit anyway.
Thunderfoot Hatcher had a terrific first half. You know, you call them all Thunderfoot. Herman Weaver, whoever you want. That one takes a Viking bounce. Down by the Rams at the 17-yard line. When you kick the high spiral, as Hatcher does, that's going to happen every once in a while. He gets credit for only a 27-yard punt. And so now the Vikings will have the football for the first time, leading 14-zip over the Rams in the 3rd. The man in the Viking baseball cap was the #1 rated passer in the NFL last year. Tommy Kramer out with a pinched nerve, which makes it difficult for him to throw the ball. Wade Wilson, the starting quarterback, both this week and last week, is regarded as one of the better number 2s in the NFL, and he continues to win, Kenny. You wonder if Jerry Burns may have to make a decision down the road.
I don't think there's any decision to be made if he continues to win.
Alfred Anderson carries on the first offensive play of the 2nd half for the Vikings.
In talking to Coach Burns yesterday and talking to Wade Wilson yesterday, Wade Wilson said the very thing. I asked him how he was approaching this season. He had played very well. Tommy Kramer had been injured, and he said he was approaching it just that very way, that he thought that the job belonged to him as long as he continued to win. And I'm sure that Coach Burns feels the same way. You can't take him out of there as long as the team's winning.
Tommy Kramer makes $1 million a year. What would it do to his head to find himself as a #2 quarterback?
I don't think it would bother him that much. I think Tommy's been around long enough to understand that the guy in the center, as long as he's winning, is going to stay under the center.
Tommy's your kind of guy, isn't he?
You bet. He's Tommy from Texas. He's fun to watch play. Kind of guy that can go out, throw 5 interceptions in the first half, come back, throw 5 touchdown passes in the second half, and beat you.
On 2nd down, Wilcher makes the stop on DJ Dozier. And Dozier is short of the first down. It will be 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Well, last year, Kramer had 24 touchdown passes, threw only 10 interceptions as Dozier goes off the field for the Vikings. That's a good ratio.
No doubt about it. Led the league in passing, and he's the kind of player that is a big play guy. And when you get Anthony Carter, Leo Lewis, and that kind of speed, a DJ Joser that can catch the ball, well, then you're going to do some damage.
On 3rd and 3, the Rams are in their 6th defensive back formation. And it pays off as they are able to have good coverage from Johnny Johnson on Jim Gustafson and blunt the first down effort.
Trying to get the ball out on the flat, turn it up to get the first down. Only needed 3 yards, but read very well by Johnny Johnson. Comes up just in time, makes the hit, forces a punt. The defense is keeping them in the game, 14-0. The offense has got to get the defense off the field, get some kind of drives going, get Everett some consistency, get him some confidence going.
Ellard deep, awaiting the kick from Greg Coleman. Short punt from Coleman. Chance for Ellard to return. No flag on that one block. Rams are going to get a shot inside the Viking 35-yard line. It was Coleman who finally knocked Ellard out of bounds.
Special teams making up for the penalties and the mistakes they had earlier. You see Ellard catching the ball, looking to pick up the wall, breaks to his left, gets some great blocks, turns it up. A guy with this kind of speed, if you let him get a running start, he's going to do some damage, and here he does it.
Great burst of acceleration down the sideline. That was Coleman who made the play. A 35-yard kick, a 29-yard return for the NFL's all-time leading punt returner, Henry Ellard.
This kind of field position, we ought to be able to do something here. They need to start something right here. Here's the spot to do it early in the quarter with great field position. They can get back in the game here.
On first down from the 29, it is number 29 with the ball, and Dickerson has 6. Sudwell made the stop.
Again, behind their strong right side, and Dennis Harrah, Jackie Slater, trying to get Dickerson into the secondary, threw those linebackers into the secondary and run over a few people. That's what they do best, is control the ball on the ground with Dickerson.
Giants going ahead of Dallas, 14-10 in the 3rd quarter. You heard Brent Musburger tell us at halftime, Sims threw 3 first-half interceptions. Raiders get a touchdown and lead Detroit 13-7. San Diego still rolling over St. Louis. They had an 81-yard punt return from Lionel James, the little train in that game. On 2nd and short, Everett wants to throw and overthrows David Hill in the flat. They had nothing going. David Howard was out there covering Hill.
Keith Millard forcing Everett to throw the ball just a little bit sooner than he had. He threw the ball in a good spot, overthrow the ball, start over. Don't take his chance of throwing any kind of interceptions.
And you see more scores, concluding with the Cleveland victory. San Francisco coming back to beat Cincinnati on the last play. So a lot of teams which lost last week have rebounded now to 1-1. Among them, Miami, Cleveland, San Francisco, Buffalo. Kelly with the big day. What do you think of Randall Cunningham?
Well, evidently he's doing pretty well. I haven't seen him play that very much. He has an awful lot of mobility, can move, and has a very strong arm.
You saw that Denver wound up with a tie with Green Bay at the end of overtime. Now there's time out on the field, and we'll be back with the Rams facing a 3rd down, trailing 14-0 right after this. As we bring you back with just under 10 minutes to go in quarter number 3, the Rams, trailing 14-0, face a 3rd down 4 at the Minnesota 23. Opportunity to score, set up by a long punt return by Henry Ellard. Rams 1 of 7 on 3rd down conversion. Underneath, 1st down yardage. Henry Ellard with the catch. Go to your best receiver, right?
Put the ball in the hands of the guys who can do something with it. And that guy can certainly do something with it. Only needing 4 yards, 3 yards, 1st down. Run everybody off. Bring him, as you see on the left of the screen, after everybody's chased off, coming underneath for complete. David Hill's running people off, 1st down. Talking to Ernie Zampese yesterday, he said we want to put the ball in the hands of the people that can make the most happen with it. And that's Henry Ellard in this case, and of course Eric Dickerson.
Rams' only touchdown against Houston last week was scored by linebacker Kevin Green. Flag down. Dickerson tries on 1st down. something at the line of scrimmage. Jesse Solomon and Chris Dolman made the stop for Minnesota. Suddenly it is the Vikings who are starting to make the mistakes.
Putting a little bit of pressure on them. They're down in their territory now, driving. It's only 14-0 early in the game, and you start applying pressure to people.
Number 79 on the defense, still first down.
And that was the veteran, Doug Martin, who lined up in the neutral zone. See Jerry Burns shaking his head, thinking, well, I might have expected it of the rookie Henry Thomas, but I didn't think Doug would do that.
Veteran player. Looked like he read something, wanted to get to the inside as quick as possible, a little over-anxious.
Nose guard now, was the starter last year, made the play that time on Dickerson.
You're going to run the ball, you got to control the nose man. You got to control the nose tackle with the centers or the guards or whatever the blocking combination must be or may be, but you have to control that guy. He can't get any penetration. He whipped the center that time, makes the play.
So now it will be second down, 5 yards to go. The ball is at the 13-yard line. They can make a first down just inside the 8. David Hill with the catch, first down yardage. Well, I've denigrated Hill's abilities as a receiver, but this time he made his body big.
You bet. Short drop, get the ball away because they only need 5 yards. You see Hill gets his body between the ball and the receiver, takes that big body, puts it in between there, and gets enough for the first down yardage. Passes like that down inside the 10-yard line. Nothing big. Just take what the defense gives you. Get your tight ends in those seams. Your backs coming across, crossing tight routes or things in between the seams.
Hill is a 12-year veteran out of Texas A&I. He won't catch many. That was a big one. 2 tight ends. First and goal. Dickerson gets it inside the 5. Studwell was riding him and finally hauled him down at about the 4-yard line. 15 carries, 56 yards for Eric Dickerson, having to work for every one of them today.
Still going behind Dennis Harrah and Jackie Slater, probably the 2 stronger blockers on this offensive line. Along with Smith, their center, been stalwarts in there for a while. There they are. Big offensive line. One of the better offensive lines in the league. They're starting to age a little bit, but talking to John Robinson, he says that transition of different players is maybe a year or 2 away.
Harrah in his 13th year out of Miami. Slater in his 12th year out of Jackson State. Johnson was in motion. It was Mike Gooman, the fullback from Penn State, with his first carry of the day, and Gooman got only a yard before Jesse Solomon met him. So now they face a 3rd down situation. This is a tough call. It's going to be 3rd and goal just inside the 3.
I see some kind of pass right here. I think they'll throw the ball. If not, go ahead and take the field goal. It's pretty early, but the way they've been playing defense, Studwell's been playing very well in the middle. I look for him to maybe play pass and bring somebody underneath.
Ulcer time for John Robinson. He needs this offense to break through the invisible shield. Touchdown.
That's an option play.
Touchdown for Ernie Zampese's newly installed Ram offense comes from Ernie Zampese brought import Buford McGee, who came up the coast with Zampese from San Diego, and the Rams sent Barry Redden out of the Eric Dickerson cast shadow in which he has played his career.
Not unusual to see somebody bring in players for that offense that has played in it before.
Lansford will try to add the point after. Play is whistled dead before Lansford's kick. Busy day for Red Cashin.
False start. Number 53 on the offense. Still a try.
So Sam Anno will get over the ball to snap it one more time for the Rams. Dills has to place the ball down in the dirt. Lansford kicks it through. The touchdown play was the same option play on which Dickerson earlier fumbled the ball.
Unusual play here, really. It's an option play. Buford McGee has the opportunity or has the option to option the ball, pitch it to Dickerson. Here he comes behind Hara, pulling, kicking out. If they close in on him, he can pitch the ball to Dickerson. He sees the hole and dives it in there. That has to make Zampese happy, his first touchdown.
Well, you can almost see the faint traces of a smile creasing Ernie Zampese's
thrilled to
lips.
death, I'm sure.
We'll be back. We've got 6 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the third quarter in Anaheim, where the Los Angeles Rams, much vaunted new offense, has just produced its first touchdown of this NFL season. And on the kickoff by Mike Lansford, Greg Richardson of Alabama is able to hold on to the ball despite a fierce hit from Sam Anno, and the Vikings will have the ball at their 26. In college football yesterday, Ohio State beat Oregon 24-14, and Rice pounded LSU last night. And we tell you that because next Saturday on CBS Sports coverage of CFA college football, we've got a real thriller of a matchup. Huh, Snake?
LSU, the Bengal Tigers, and Ohio State. Earl Bruce's game.
Two of the top five. Now, did you ever play a game in the lovely French village of Baton Rouge?
Unfortunately, we did. We went down there at night one time, and we were lucky just to get out of there.
But you did get out?
Part of it.
On first down for the Vikings at the 26, Darren Nelson gets the call. And now the job for the Minnesota offense is to try to reestablish some of the momentum they developed early in the game on big plays from Wade Wilson to Anthony Carter. Mel Owens made the stop there for the Rams.
Momentum was changed to the Rams side of the ball by Henry Eller's long punt return. As you just say, Jim, now it's up to Wade Wilson and his gang to get the momentum back. Keep that defense out on the field, maintain some long drive. Coach Jerry Burns.
Burnsy, as they call him. Double tight end now.
Jerome Monahan Burns.
Not bad. Look out. Alfred Anderson, the one-time schoolboy quarterback from East Texas and Baylor University, gets a 20-yard pickup before Vince Newsom dragged him down for the Rams.
Here you see the handoff to Anderson behind the big blocking of Mark McDonald on the other side. The tackle leading up in the middle, 220 pounds going up through there. Makes it awfully tough on the secondary people. This is the thing that they have to have, is maintain some control on the ground so that Wade Wilson can do his play passing to get the big plays to the outside people.
McDonald kicked inside, and then you saw the lead guard, David Huffman, number 72, making the block to the outside. That was the hole for Anderson. Wilson on first down is hit as he attempts to throw, and it was Mel Owens who came in on the blitz. Hey, Owens is starting to warm to the task. Maybe he feels like he's getting ready to run with the Bulls in Pamplona.
I think the defense knows that they have to cause some things to happen, that the offense is struggling. Here's the replay. You see Owens coming from the right-hand side of your screen, putting the heat on, and here it is right here. Bang. That's awfully tough to throw the ball from that prone position.
Owens, the world traveler. He and Ram trainer Garrett Guimont went to Pamplona this past summer to run with the Bulls, and they ran on a day when 4 people were gored to death.
Why don't we try that? You like that?
Count on me. Huh? I like to watch.
Follow me.
In the flat, this is Dozier with the catch. Jim Collins with a good tackle to hold him to a pickup of 5. Nice catch by Dozier out in front with his hands.
Natural receiver, catches the ball in his hands, and very dangerous out there. Good tackle by Collins, one of the better tacklers in the linebacking core. You see Dozier coming outside, and this is one of the things in their offense would like to do, is get him outside with the ball one-on-one with a linebacker. He's got great hands, natural receiver, but a real good open field tackle by Jim Collins.
Boy, don't you feel like you're watching Chuck Foreman again?
Looks just like him. Plays a lot like him. Has all the spin moves that Foreman had.
Second down, 3 yards to go. Vikings are, check it, third down, 3 yards to go. Vikings are 1 of 9 on third down. Make it 1 of 10. Collins and Newsom with the hit for the Rams. Boy, Vince Newsom is listed at only 179 pounds, but but he plays bigger.
Seems like the defense now is fired back up again. Momentum still on their side from the touchdown, and the defense is playing very well. Newsom coming up. Mel Owens playing good. Collins making open field tackles. We've got a decision to be made here.
And in the first half, it was the play of Wilcher, the outside linebacker, that really helped keep them in the game.
Probably the strength of their defense, probably those linebackers.
Now, of course, Jim Collins was the man who forced the fumble when the Vikings had the ball inside the 1-yard line and coughed it up. That was Dozier who fumbled that one away, and that's a possession that they may come to rue severely if they let the Rams all the way back in. Now Coleman will try to nail the Rams deep. Going for the sideline. No, it comes down the middle. Number 20 is Johnny Johnson with the football, and he spins out to about the 12-yard line. So Jim Everett and the Rams, maybe with a little bit of new confidence, will try to move it again from deep in their territory, trailing 14-7. You are in Orange County, California at Anaheim Stadium, and I'm Jim Lampley along with Ken Stabler in the third quarter of a game which the Minnesota Vikings dominated completely in the first half. Could have had a bigger lead than 14-0. And the Rams have made a mini comeback here in the third quarter to cut it to 14-7.
Only because of special teams. Their offense really hasn't generated anything at all. A big punt return by Henry Ellert got them down inside the 25, inside the 30-yard line, and they took the ball in from there. But Jim Everett really hasn't sustained any long drive. There's been no consistency to his play. This Ernie Zampese offense that everybody's been talking about has really not come into play. They've held Dickerson in check, and basically their offense really hasn't done much at all. Their defense has played very well and has kept them in the game.
On the day, Everett has completed 9 of 14 passes for 56 yards. Every completion has been underneath. The only yardage gainers in the passing offense of any substantial significance were a couple of pass interference penalties against the Vikings.
Absolutely. Like we said, no continuity at all. They penalized themselves into trouble. They fumbled snaps. They've turned the ball over twice. No continuity at all. Coming out down here, Jim, they really don't want to try anything either. I think they want to just kind of protect the ball, get the ball out, and if you get some first downs on the ground, certainly not turn it over down here. They're back in the game now.
3 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the third period. Long way to go. Rams, a team desperately in need of a win. Everett checked off to Gooman, and they got some yardage. Got a little breathing room out to the 21, and he stepped in front of the chain to get a Ram first down.
Little play fake to buy a little time there, and that's what Gooman brings to the backfield when he's in there. He's a good blocker, good pass receiver. They get him in the secondary, get him on the linebackers as a matchup that they try to get from him.
And you really saw two heady plays there. The checkoff by Everett to find Gooman in the flat. Gooman getting to the chain.
That's the read that he has. Take a look downfield at the wide receiver first. If nothing's there, dump the ball off and take the gain that you can get.
Two tight ends in the game. One of them, Damone Johnson, goes in motion. Dickerson is met again by the middle of the Viking defense, which has been very tough against the run. Studwell, the middle linebacker, was there, but Tim Newton, who is now playing at the nose guard, made the first hit.
Jim Kelly smoking them, huh? John Elway, big, strong quarterback, throws 3 interceptions today. Denver ties him 17-17.
Yeah, forget that yardage. 3 interceptions and no touchdowns. That's a bad day for Elway.
Absolutely. Raiders winning on defense.
Against mighty Detroit. Raiders are going to be 2-0.
The defense is going to be 2-0.
If they can hold on. Now, Everett has to use a timeout. I believe that's the second one he has burned here in the second half. It is. And again, that's a mark of just what you were saying, Kenny. No continuity.
No continuity. They don't seem to be on the same page with anything they're doing. Those timeouts are going to become awfully important, especially when you're behind. In the fourth quarter, when you need to go the length of the field and do some things, You have to have those timeouts to control the clock.
Case in point, Wilson used 2 in the first half for the Vikings, and as a result, they couldn't stop the clock at the end of the half when they had a chance to perhaps get in position for a field goal.
Exactly. This kind of indecision really shouldn't happen after 4 exhibition games and a second game of the regular season. They just don't seem to be on the same page with their offense. They said they're going to cut things down, get to more plays that everybody understood and everybody felt safe and sound with, but it really hasn't helped their offense at all today.
Well, indeed, one of the subjects of controversy which has emerged for the Rams within the past week is that there are a lot of different motions and a variety of sets which go into this offense which they did not rehearse in exhibition games.
Rehearsed in practice, but not exhibition games, and not used under game-type situations, which I think is essential to use them in game-type situations to see what kind of reaction you're going to get. And that's the reason for cutting things down, because they just thought that they had too many things in last week.
And that man, Robinson, acknowledged that against Houston it hurt Everett and hurt his receivers that they had not used the formations and the motion that they had intended to use that day. And it appears that maybe that's once again the case today. On the 1 interception Everett threw today, the receiver, Kevin House, never really turned around to look for the ball.
Either the route was run a little bit too deep, or either Jim Everett released the ball too soon. It's really hard to say which one was at fault there, but still, again, the lack of consistency on offense.
It is a timing and rhythm offense. It is not bombs away like the Raiders used to play.
And in fairness, a timing and rhythm offense takes a little bit longer to learn to get that sort of timing down.
On 2nd and 10. Everett shows the strength of his arm, but he had no one open. Henry Thomas was in his face.
Forced out of the pocket, in fairness to the young quarterback, and the same thing happened last week against the Houston Oilers, who play a very pressure-type defense, a pressure defense that brings everybody, and they put people in his face, and he just has to try to make plays and happen himself. Talking to him yesterday at practice, he said when he got frustrated with the way that things were going, he thought he had to take it upon himself to try to make the big play, to run around, to try to do things himself, and that's really not the way this offense is designed.
So now on 3rd and 10, he will face the 6th defensive back for the Vikings. Triple wide receiver formation for the Rams. Pressure up the middle. Plenty of room if he can get there. First down. Joey Browner chasing him, but that time Everett went to the chain.
That's the thing to do. Last time he scrambled out with the ball, he had a little bit of indecision whether to go upfield or get to the chains. This time he knows what he wants to do. Go right to those chains and get that first down. This may get him fired up. Any type of success this kid needs right now.
Now Robinson confers with the brain trust. The Rams have their 2nd first down of the drive. Dickerson, the setbacks behind Everett. And Dickerson's able to cut back. Pickup of about 9 before Browner made the tackle. Eric Dickerson's favorite play to start off tackle and cut it back up inside.
Give him a split back formation, a passing type formation. He goes back and gives off the draw play. Good call on 1st and 10 on passing type situations. And this guy can get it done when he gets loose in the secondary.
That play is called ISO for the Rams. Both tackles pull to the outside, and Dickerson admits that what he's looking for is a chance to break it back inside, as he did there. It was a gain of 9. It would be 2nd and 1. Newman has the first down. Crowd begins to come to life. Chris Martin made the stop for the Vikings, number 57, the backup linebacker out of Auburn.
Good short yardage call. Just get Gooman to pop up in there for the first down. Use Dickerson as some type of decoy. Bring him across the backfield. Try to get those linebackers to flow with him and let Gooman pop it up in there, cut it back, get the first down.
Clock may run out on the 3rd quarter. No, they're going to get the play off. Dickerson gets away. Joey Browner ran Dickerson out of bounds, but the Rams have another first down to take with them into the 4th quarter.
This is a part of that new offense that Ernie Zampese brought, is to get the ball in the hands of the people who can do the most with it, whether it's running or passing. In Dickerson's case here, this serves almost like a sweep. Get the ball outside to him, put him one-on-one. You couldn't tackle him in a phone booth. He shakes the break right there, and here he is for the first down.
It was Walker Lee Ashley whom he dodged in the flat. He stopped the clock with 3 seconds left in the quarter. David Hill. Second catch of the game for Hill. Browner made the stop, and that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Minnesota 14, Los Angeles 7. We pause now with a word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. Tandy Computers, because there is no better value, only at Radio Shack. And by the Energizer Battery, good times never lasted longer.
We bring you back live to Anaheim Stadium, where the Los Angeles Rams' Jim Everett just ended the third quarter with a completion to David Hill. The Rams, trailing 14-7, just played their best quarter of the young season. It wasn't all that spectacular. Everett now 12 of 18, still for only 87 yards, but at least they've been able to sustain something now.
Probably their best set of plays in the entire game in this third quarter, Jim. He's had a good play selection, a good mixture. He's run flare actions, he's run draws, he's run screens, and he's thrown the ball underneath, the one to David Hill. It's been a nice mixture, and they've sustained the ball now for their longest drive of the entire game.
Warming up along the sideline there is Henry Ellard, who was temporarily out of the game, apparently with a cramp. On second down and short, Dickerson tries to get to the first down marker, and I think he's going to be a little bit short of it, as Tim Newton made another good play in the middle at the nose guard position for the Vikings. They were not terribly satisfied with Newton's play at that position last year, drafted to try to improve that position, got Henry Thomas, who became the starter, but now Newton has come on in this game and has played very well.
God, he's a big guy, huh? Needs his own area code.
Like a Coke machine with a head on.
See?
Third and 2 now. Big play for the Rams. Dickerson stumbling forward, and that's going to be close. Kenny Stabler with the free left hand making the first down motion here in the booth. Joey Browner coming up to make the stop. He had 9 tackles last week for the Vikings.
Well, they're going to spot it back a little bit. I think it's going to be a 4. They're going to measure. No chain gang action.
I don't even think they need it. That's short. That's a short ski by about a half yard.
Yep. We're going to go for this one. What do you think? 4th down? 14-7? Yep. Well, it's easy to play up here.
I think they may go for it.
Oh, they may go? Well, I'm thinking offense. I was an offensive player.
Yeah, you were an offensive player.
Still kind of offensive.
To opposing teams, you were an offensive player.
I see. I think the crowd's trying to make this decision for Coach Robbie.
Well, there's Dickerson, who has now tried twice on second and short and third and short. Wasn't able to get there. Double tight end in the game. Rams are going to have to go for it on 4th down and a half yard. And just as early in the game, there was no question they had to kick it away. Here, there's no question they've got to do this.
You bet.
Well, let's wait and see. I think there was just enough of a surge, and Dickerson lowered the shoulder and went forward.
See what kind of spot we get.
He was knocked back in the air. That spot is going to make it close. Hara pulled from the right side to lead Dickerson into the hole. For this result. Viking ball. Boy, it's a tough game, isn't it?
Oh, game of inches, huh? Seems like when they needed their bread and butter plays, they've gone behind Dennis Hara, Jackie Slater. Here it is, no exception right here. They're giving the ball. Hara pulling. He tries to cut back. Seems like he runs into Hara, and they stop him.
Yeah, what about pulling the guard on such short yardage when Hara is not all that quick in getting across there?
I guess it's based on what your philosophy is and how the play is set up. But most short yardage plays, you don't really pull anybody. You just man on man and try to blow them out of there.
You got a 6'4" quarterback who weighs about 215, 220. Now the Vikings try to capitalize. Little scissors play inside for Darren Nelson. Boy, he's nifty. About a 7-yard gain. Johnny Johnson made the stop for the Rams.
The old Statue of Liberty type play. Quarterback goes back, fakes a little pass, and Darren Nelson comes around behind. Good role player. He's been an exciting little player today. He's run the ball wide well, run the ball up the middle. He's been a good pass receiver in the flats, and it's nice to have a player that understands his role.
7 carries for 58 yards. Now, here's the problem for the Rams. When your offense blows a chance like that and misses on 4th and a half, the defense doesn't exactly run onto the field waving his hands in the air.
No, it's a mental letdown on both sides of the ball.
Good play there, though, as Alfred Anderson is met behind the line of scrimmage. Number 69, who first dug in there under the blockers, was Greg Meissner, and then Ekern came on to make the hit. This is a big play by the nose guard.
Here you see Meissner, the nose guard, whipping the center, beating the center to the right side, and then Eckert, who fills the middle very well, calls the defensive signals, comes up, makes the play. I think the defense understands that if they're going to win this game, they're going to have to make the big play on their side of the ball because the offense is struggling so much.
So 2nd and 3 turns into 3rd down 6. 6 defensive backs in the game for L.A. Rush on. Drop. Flag down. Flag down well behind where Nelson tried to catch the football. Crowd likes that.
Interference, number 81 on the offense. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Well, Anthony Carter got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Ellard remains on the sideline now as Carter accepts the interference call declined by the Rams. Coleman gets ready to punt for the Vikings. And Mickey Sutton, number 49, is deep for the Rams. So the man who set up the only Ram touchdown is off the field as the punt is blocked. Johnny Johnson's going to have a touchdown.
Special teams.
And poetic justice, Lou.
Great teams found a way to win.
He got burned for the touchdown by Anthony Carter, which had been the difference in the ball game right up to that moment.
They found a way to win. They know the offense is struggling, so the defense knows that they have to do it. If they can't do it, then the special teams have to pick up the slack. One touchdown came from a long Ellard punt return, and now a blocked punt on special teams.
Lansford will try to tie the football game. And he misses. Prior to that kick, Mike Lansford had not missed a place kick all season. Now here's the touchdown.
Comes right up the middle. Nobody touched him. It's not even close. He's all over the top of him before the ball ever leaves his foot good. Johnny Johnson, if it takes a good bounce, pops up right in front of him. Like I said, the special teams is keeping him in the game.
But then Lansford missed the extra point after hitting all of his field goal and extra point attempts in preseason and last week. It's 14-13. There is a summary of what's happened so far as we are early in the 4th quarter. Wade Wilson, most of his yardage in the first half. The Rams touchdowns. One set up by special teams and the other scored by the special teams. Anybody's ball game now. The difference, the missed extra point.
Well, the missed extra point is kind of funny that special teams keep them in the game. With a punt return, it sets it up, a blocked punt, but then a special teams missed extra point keeps them behind. But the teams are keeping them in the game.
Greg Richardson is going to be dropped inside his 20-yard line. Fumble! And we'll wait to see who's got it. Ram ball. Special teams again. Mickey Sutton, number 49, came out of there with the football. Michael Young was the man who was downfield to make the hit. These are not big names on the Ram roster. They are the men who are giving the Rams a chance to stay in the game. Jerry Burns is the man who is now upset.
When one phase of your team is struggling like the Rams offense is struggling, then you have to look someplace else to pick up the slack, whether it be defensively, whether it be special teams. In the case today, the special teams are keeping the Rams in the game.
I think Burns believes that Richardson had his forward progress stopped before the ball came loose. Right now, he's doing all the listening, and the official is doing all the talking.
Well, the momentum's changed somewhat. Crowd's back in the game.
You got 12 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the game. What the official just said there was that it was a fumble and that the Rams have recovered, and it's first down, Los Angeles at the 18. Now, somewhere along the line, the Ram offense has to capitalize on one of these breaks if they're going to win the game. Ellard and House are the wide receivers. Dickerson has 3 down to the 15. Scott Studwell and Jesse Solomon were there. The Vikings have played the run very steadily today.
John Robinson has to be a little bit happy, only because of his special teams, but they get this in here. It really applies an awful lot of pressure to Minnesota's team. They bring in their designated short yardage people. You see Gooman coming in. You see the big tight end, Johnson coming in, and that's the designated short yardage people to duck the ball in down in close.
Well, starting offensive tackle Irv Pankey has just limped off the field for the Rams. Robert Cox, number 72 out of UCLA, a rookie, now replaces Pankey at the left tackle. Hill and Johnson both in the game. Double tight end set for the Rams. Ellard wide to the top of the screen. Dickerson again. Falls forward for about 3. The Rams are going to have one of those very ticklish 3rd down and 4 situations. Chris Martin made the stop for Minnesota.
Bread and butter again behind Jackie Slater, behind Dennis Harrow, with Gooman leading the play to try to get Eric Dickerson to break through. 2 tight end situation down in here close. Decision to be made here whether to run the ball or throw the ball. I think they'll throw the ball. I think they'll try to bring somebody underneath, try to get somebody on a crossing pattern as they did earlier.
They went to Ellard on the crossing pattern for the first down the last time they had this situation. Buford McGee
brings it back underneath everything, try to get him on a linebacker.
Big play by Jesse Solomon. McGee is short of the first down.
Crossing patterns down in close, tough for the linebackers to deal with. You see Buford McGee releasing the right side of your screen, coming underneath. There's the easy toss, but he comes up short. Nice play made by the linebacker.
Well, moments ago, Johnny
Solomon
Johnson, who gave up a touchdown to Anthony Carter in the first half, redeemed himself with a blocked punt. Now Mike Lansford will try to redeem himself from a missed extra point, which separated the Rams from tying the football game. This field goal attempt is for 28 yards. And it's good. And Los Angeles has taken the lead over Minnesota. It's not that much to shout about with 9 minutes 55 seconds still to go, but it's something for the Rams. We'll be back. In Anaheim, Wade Wilson got the Vikings off to a 14-0 lead with 2 touchdown passes. Buford McGee tore it in half with a 2-yard touchdown run that was the first Ram offensive touchdown of the season. Johnny Johnson, who was burned for one of the Viking TDs in the first half, blocked the punt. And the Rams have just gone ahead 16-14. And now Darren Nelson returns the kickoff for the Vikings, and Nelson gets it across the 20 to the 23. So after the Richardson fumble on the last kickoff, the Vikings put the experienced Nelson back there. And Tim Terrell came down to make the stop, I should say, for the Rams. Wade Wilson in the second half, 1 of 5 for 7 yards.
Plenty of time, 9 minutes, 45 seconds. See the graphic here. Minnesota first half, 217. The Rams only 69 yards. The Ram defense has kept the team in the game along with their special teams. With 9 minutes left, there's plenty of time for Wade Wilson to take his time, stay with the game plan. Just like that. Big play man, Anthony Carter.
Boy, is he something.
Exciting player to watch.
You need it, you go to him. Vince Newsom with the big hit. 17-yard catch for Carter as he tries to get the offense going.
Here's the quick slant to Anthony Carter. You get him running, he catches the ball in the secondary with that kind of speed. He can break it all the way. You see the well-thrown ball, and they make the play. First down. They've got all kind of time. There's 9 minutes left. Stay with what you can do best.
And it takes a little stomach to go over the middle in the NFL. Anthony Carter is 5'11", listed at 175 pounds. Doesn't really look that big.
Tough play.
Wilson again to throw. This time over Leo Lewis. Leroy Urban was there with Lewis. Urban was burned on the very first catch of the game by Carter, and since then has been superlative in coverage for the Rams.
They tested him early, and they're still staying after him, but he's done a good job. Their entire defense has risen to the occasion by stopping them and letting the special teams get them field position.
One of several players on the Ram roster who is not particularly happy with the amount of money he is being paid by that organization is Leroy Urban. Claims that he won't allow it to affect his playing on the field. Dickerson is another in that situation. Wilson down. And in the first half, when he got away like that, he found Carter.
In the first half where he could move around, he found Carter for the big play. Sean Miller makes the play here, but credit to secondary. Nobody back there to throw to because he had an awful lot of time to look for someone. Bought time by stepping up in the pocket, run around, look around. Nobody back there. Credit to secondary.
Third sack for the Rams. Just like that, it is 3rd and 14. Rams were worried about the pass rush in the offseason. They have had it today. Vikings 1 of 11 on 3rd down conversions. Johnson almost had another touchdown.
Ball delivered just a little bit late. I think Wade Wilson probably had a little bit of hard time finding him. He had to shuffle his feet back there and throw. Ball's thrown late, hangs in the air just a little bit and gives Johnny Johnson time to react.
And if Johnson had held on, there was nobody there. Now Coleman, who has been rushed on the last 4 punts. Sutton backs away, and the ball goes dead at the 21-yard line. Coleman looked a little bit nervous, hurried the punt, but got 44 yards out of it. Rams have the football leading by 2. All right, thank you very much, Brent. Fascinating. The Cardinals, as you look at Jim Everett, appeared ready to give up on Neil Lomax when they drafted Kelly Stouffer. Lomax's response has been to come out high. On first down, Everett, who is heating up for the Rams. It's Michael Young, a backup wide receiver out of UCLA. And before Henderson knocks him out of bounds, they have a pickup of 9.
It's amazing how a little success can affect you, and he seems to be playing much more confident now. He drops back and has set in the pocket real well, delivered the ball very well, right on time. Little confidence makes you play awfully well.
Well, they're still not getting a lot of yardage out of this, but then San Diego for years would nickel and dime you and then hit with the big play. 2nd and 1. Gooman has the first down. Neil Lomax has always had the arm.
Always had the arm, and you're throwing the ball around. You got a guy that can run like Roy Green. You can strike up the band pretty quick.
Green was hampered by injuries last year. Came out with a hot start last week, as did Lomax. Buford McGee and Eric Dickerson are the setbacks in the game now for the Rams, as they try to run off a little clock. Leading by 2 at 16-14, 7:30 to go in the game. John Robinson's Rams lost their last 3 regular season games, or the last 2 regular seasons, and the wild card playoff last year. Opened with a loss this year. Dickerson on first down has a pickup of about 3. Joey Browner wraps him up. Atlanta beating Washington 21-20. Those stats in a losing cause for Doug Williams. Winners today, Philadelphia and Buddy Ryan over New Orleans, which opened with the big win over Cleveland last week. Cleveland bounces back to beat Pittsburgh, and Malone was bad again today. San Francisco won on the last play of the game.
Joe Montana does it again in the clutch.
Marino does it. 23 of 32, 3 TD passes for Miami. Everett, good throw down the middle. Third catch of the game for David Hill. Again, Browner is there to make the tackle, but Everett is starting to look like a quarterback now.
This is a read-type situation. You see the linebacker come right up the middle. Everett reads it. The tight end reads it. Sticks it in there for a good game. It's a good gain. It's a situation that you have to read. Everett takes the lick, delivers the ball on time. You have to be able to do that when those linebackers are coming, is take your medicine. When you get hit, deliver the ball.
It was Walker Lee Ashley who buried the shoulder in Jim Everett. But he can handle it. He's 6'5", 212 pounds. Pickup, as you saw, was almost 10. So they've got 2.5 yards to play with. A lot of quarterbacks like to go deep on this down.
Yes, they do. Bart Starr used to like to do that on 2nd and short, but in this situation, I think they'll pick up their first down to keep the clock running. Keep the clock running, try to move the ball down on the other side of the 50-yard line.
What did Kenny Stabler used to do with this down?
Turn around, hand it to a big old guy like Marv Hubbard behind Upshaw and Schill and get the first down and try to work it down in there for the field goal, which makes them have to score a touchdown to win.
Dickerson dragging tacklers across midfield into Viking territory. David Howard made the stop. Dickerson starting to get, in his words, lathered up. 24 carries for 83 yards. Tonight on CBS, the season premieres of 60 Minutes and Murder, She Wrote, plus the CBS Sunday movie Mickey and Maude, starring Dudley Moore and Steven Spielberg's wife.
Oh, yeah?
Amy Irving.
All right. Murder, She Wrote.
You practicing that? Try it again. Let me hear it.
Murder, She Wrote.
Pretty good.
How is that?
Yeah, I know.
Say with color?
You can make that pause a little more how you say pregnant if you want to.
How about this?
How about this Dickerson?
That's what I was getting at. That's what they need to do right now, is maintain control of the ball on the ground. A little over 5 minutes left. Work the ball down in there on the ground, which uses up a lot of the clock. Get down in there. If you have to take a field goal, fine. Then it forces the Minnesota Vikings to have to score a touchdown to beat you.
That was only a short gain, but he did shed a tackler for a moment. He was not doing so in the first half.
I think he understands who's carrying the load right now and understands that they have to gain the yards on the ground, and he's the guy to do it.
Young and Brown are the wide receivers for the Rams. Good coverage down the sideline by Carl Lee, fifth-year cornerback out of Marshall, on Ron Brown.
Jim Everett saw a man-to-man coverage that time. He saw the strong safety walk up on the tight end and run with him and got his man-to-man coverage, and they decided to take a shot down the sidelines to Ron Brown. Need a first down right here to maintain control.
Of course, if the Rams can ever get Brown hooked up, they'll have explosiveness. He does not have a catch today.
He can motor.
Maybe the fastest man in the NFL.
They used to hold that solid.
Not on the field, though.
Not in the same field.
It is third down. 8 yards to go. Now here's the old Ram offense. 3rd and 8. You give it to Eric. Lee with the tackle coming up from the corner, and all that's going to produce is a punting situation. Ram fans have seen a lot of that over the past 4 years.
You know, talking to Eric Dickerson at practice the other day, he was a little bit disappointed that the Rams didn't run the ball on third down some in Houston. He thought he could have picked up some first downs that would have maintained some drives that they had going, and he wants to carry the ball on third down. A very, very confident player and wants to carry the ball, wants to carry the whole load.
Here on the near sideline, David Howard, the third-year linebacker out of Long Beach State, who used to play out here in this area for the Los Angeles Express of the United States Football League, is temporarily indisposed, and Minnesota trainers work with him. Next Saturday, CBS Sports presents what promises to be a thrilling college football matchup. Well, had to happen sometime. The 5th-ranked Buckeyes of Ohio State take on the 4th-ranked LSU Fighting Tigers. That's next Saturday, live at 2:30 Eastern Time, right here on CBS Sports.
Good audible, Jim.
I want to read it again. Next Saturday, CBS Sports presents what promises to be a thrilling college football matchup. The 5th-ranked Buckeyes of Ohio State take on the 4th-ranked LSU Fighting Tigers. I'm telling you, it should be a heck of a game.
LSU's got a fine young quarterback down there. Throws the ball around real good. Hodgson.
Can he ever? Tom Hodgson.
He can cut it loose.
They've got the other end of the package in Wendell Davis, too.
Great receiver. Sure, old Bruce knows about both of those guys.
He won't sleep this week. Hatcher will try now to nail the Vikings deep. High. Too far. So Minnesota will have the football at its 20-yard line. 4 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. And Wade Wilson, who has really had only one successful throw in the second half, that, the 17-yard completion to Anthony Carter on the last possession, will try to get it going now for Minnesota. They've got some time to mix up the offense. They won't have to throw on every down.
No big hurry right now. 4 minutes is an awful lot of time. You don't no reason to panic. Throw the ball every down. You've got time to do some things. They need to get out and get a little better field position in order to do that.
Leo Lewis just overthrown. Well, he took a shot and almost had it. Jerry Gray was there on the coverage, slightly beaten for the Rams. The problem with that is now you got 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 and probably a passing down again. I think that play was probably not by design to run deep. I think he was forced out of the pocket when he got outside. I think the receiver was just trying to be on the same page with him and get deep.
Wade Wilson is in his 7th year out of East Texas State. He's waited a long time for a chance to be a starter for the Vikings.
Maybe a good draw down, maybe a good screen down if you've been getting zones in this particular situation. There it is. There's a little screen.
There's the man who can do something with it. Close to a first down, but he didn't get there. Eckern and Collins, 2 sure tacklers, there for the Rams.
Wade Wilson anticipating zone and let the linebackers run off and let Darren Nelson slip underneath that after the linebackers have run off and try to run for the first down. Good call.
Good call, and it probably would have produced a first down were it not for the fact that Eckern and Collins, once they get there, are as sure-handed as any tacklers in the league.
2 very good open field tacklers. Big play right here, Jim.
You got 3rd down and less than a yard. Nelson and Finney are the setbacks. I don't think he got there.
His on the spot, but it doesn't look good.
They were 1 of 12 on 3rd down conversions before that play. Ram defenders are applauding their own effort. Hold that fist up. 4th down. All right, what is Jerry Burns going to do?
Here's the off-tackle play right here to the left side. You see the left guard, number 72, pulling the fullback lead to try to get the first down. But there's a linebacker, Jim Collins, helping make the play. The safety comes up and helps support. Johnny Gray coming over to help.
And it was the 184-pound corner, Leroy Irvin, who came up and met that block by the pulling guard.
Evidently, the contract dispute is not hurting his play.
Wilson trying and trying.
He got it.
You think so?
Yep.
Yep, you're right. And Burns' heart never missed a beat.
Woo!
Well, now 2:37 to go.
It's getting that time.
They're going to have to work that hard for every first down. They're not going to get there.
You bet.
First down. In the grass. Alvin Wright, a second-year nose tackle out of Jacksonville State. What a big play for a guy who hasn't played much all day.
A little half rollout designed. A little half rollout come out to buy time, but then you see Wright getting right in his face. He has no decision to make whatsoever other than try not to take the sack, so he lets the ball go, and in the grass, Brule gets him.
Wright went right past Dennis Swilley and Terry Tausch. Wilcher was there as well.
Wilcher's been all over the field today, rushing the passer, making plays,
Timeout,
covering guys.
Vikings. Timeout, Vikings, and we'll be back. No, 2-minute warning. We'll be back. We are back with 2 minutes to go in Anaheim Stadium. Just to clear up my confusion there moments ago, the Vikings did not call a timeout. It was the 2-minute warning. Score speaks for itself. Vikings are a long way from the field goal opportunity which would help them to take the lead. Official is going to rule that the ball was down.
Going to mark it down.
Yeah, so give Dozier credit for the reception, but it is going to be third down now and long yardage.
With this much yards to go, Jim, they'll give them all of those they want. They'll let them catch those little short passes, the little dinks, the little things underneath. With only a minute and 40-something seconds, they'll give them those every time.
Jerry Burns watches the clock run. Third down, 16 yards to go.
6 DBs in, 6 defensive backs, Jimmy.
Intercepted by Newsome. Wilson indecisive on the play.
Trying to make something happen. He's trying to make something happen. He would like to have that back forced out of the pocket, bought some time by running around and just trying to make something happen, but improvising like that is hard to be on the same page with your receiver. Newsome making a good play, almost picking it off.
Well, the good news, if you're a Viking fan, is that they did not use a timeout on that possession. So now, as they prepare to punt the football away with a minute 23 to go, they have just used one for the first time. Punting team coming onto the field for Minnesota. You've got fourth down and 16 yards to go. Rams are still waiting. They don't believe that the Vikings are going to punt the football away.
A lot of times your team is a gadget, some kind of trick play. Look who comes into the game. See who the up back is. See who the wide people are. The guys on the end of the line of scrimmage, and always be aware of whether or not the punter can throw the ball. Things that special teams coach will make his players aware of.
Well, now Burns has changed his mind and the mind of his football team. Wilson comes back. Coleman goes back to the sideline. The Vikings are going to have to go for it on 4th and 16. Ball's at the 25-yard line. They've got to get across the 40 for a first down. Quickly, scores of other games. You see Atlanta beating Washington today. Philadelphia over New Orleans. Cleveland over Pittsburgh. San Francisco over Cincinnati. Every team you've seen there is now 1-1 on the season.
Real deep, prevent zones.
4th and 16. Hassan Jones, but the clock continues to run. He picked up the first down at the 45-yard line.
Gather all your guys up, get them back up, get your timeout calls, which looks like he does.
Vikings are still alive.
Great clutch play, great clutch throw on his part, good route run. You have to have those kind of plays, and I can tell you that you really don't have plays that are designed to pick up 4th and 16s. You just have to call one of your plays and make sure that you get past the yardage marker, whatever you need. If you need 16 yards, you tell your guy in the huddle. You say, listen, run your pass route at 18 and come back to 17. Now they've got an opportunity to do something. You see Wade Wilson over with the offensive coordinator coming up with something.
And Wilson showed us something there, Kenny. That was his best throw in quite some time.
A real strike in a clutch situation. Here it is right here. The first thing you have to have is a pass protection. He gets good pass protection, stands in there real nice, and throws a strike. And the receiver is past the first down yardage. Great clutch play, the kind you have to make if you're going to win.
Deep comeback pattern. It takes time. The offensive line had to hold for about a second longer than normal.
Plenty of time, minute and 10.
New ball game. Ball at the 45. Almost intercepted by Cromwell.
Leader of that defense back there, the leader of the secondary, the old man back there. Very, very smart players. Plays center field, understands formations, understands what offenses are trying to do. Smart players. Sits right back there in the middle, reads the quarterback's eyes, and goes for the ball.
And for the 7th or 8th time today, outside linebacker Mike Wilcher, number 54, was in Wilson's lap.
They use him in all situations. Rush the passer, cover, normal defense. Six backs again. Deep zone.
Leaving Dozier free underneath, but the Rams are willing to give him that. 8 yards, clock runs.
I think there's going to come a time where the Rams are not going to be able to give them that sort of thing. If they can work themselves down in for a field goal, and they can't afford to let them catch those balls in front of them like that, they're going to have to tighten things up.
Carter holds on and gets out of bounds.
Great play.
The great players make great plays.
Absolutely. Great awareness to know where the chain was. Great awareness to know to catch the ball, to get out of bounds, to stop the clock. Great, have to break a tackle to do it. Like you say, great players make those.
He got a first down. He stopped the clock. He made a tough catch. And he gave the Vikings new life one more time. Now Chuck Nelson prepares to do his duty.
Lonely job right there, huh?
Well, you don't see a lot of people around him, do you? Wilcher almost had Wilson. Hassan Jones.
There, he bought a lot of time. He had a little pressure. He shook off the defender, bought some more time, but the defender got behind the secondary guy. He lost him. He lost the ball. He didn't see the ball in the air. The receiver adjusted to the ball. Give that young man right there an awful lot of credit. He made a 4th down, 4th and 16 pass, threw a strike for the first down, scrambles around, bought time now, and made Jerry Burns a happy man.
What about the life of a cornerback in the NFL, huh, Kenny? Leroy Irvin has made 2 mistakes today. Only 2. Both of them have badly hurt the Rams.
You're on an island out there, and you're facing guys like Carter and all these great receivers. It's an awfully tough job. It's a tough place to play out there. I think this guy right here is one of the better ones in the league, and I don't care who you are, you're going to get beat sooner or later.
Irvin dumps his helmet on the turf as he comes to the sideline. Nothing he can do. Chuck Nelson now has the easier task of kicking an extra point instead of a field goal to try to win the game. It's good, and the Vikings lead 21-16 with 30 seconds left. Let's take another look at a 41-yard touchdown pass.
Here's Wade Wilson in the shotgun back there, taking a lot of... He's got good pass protection. He's got good pass protection standing back. Here's the pressure coming now. But here he shows his strength. Wilcher grabs him. He shakes away from Wilcher and unleashes a rocket. He throws the ball a long way. 6'3", 215 pounds. The defensive back loses sight of the ball, turns the wrong way. Touchdown. Not much you can do there.
Great concentration by Hassan Jones.
And here he goes into the T-Berry shuffle.
Well, what a comeback by the Vikings. They appeared dead. The Rams had appeared dead in the middle portion of the game. Both teams showed you a little bit of what you might call gizzard today.
Absolutely. Made the big plays in the clutch. Big plays have dominated the game. Very few sustained drives. It's all been big plays. John Robinson looking for worried coach.
Before last week, no John Robinson coach team had ever lost 4 games in a row. The Rams lost their last 3 at the end of last season. Tommy Kramer has not had to play today.
I'm sure Tommy's real happy for Wade Wilson, too. Talking to Tommy yesterday, he said Wade Wilson was a nice young man. They have a good working relationship. They work good together. They help each other. And I think Tommy's a real professional. And he is glad, as long as the team's winning, he understands this guy right there is going to be under the center.
You hit some and you miss some. Wilson, 17 of 38, 285 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He seems to be a big play quarterback playing with big play receivers, and that can produce some points.
Yeah, the other number 11's been a lot more accurate today, but he hasn't been able to go downfield.
Good point.
Mickey Sutton. Rams have got a long way to go.
Well, they've got to go into their clutch-type offense, their hurry-up-type offense. With only 25 seconds left, there's no way. What they have to do is they have to throw the ball. They have to line up at the line of scrimmage or call 2 plays in the huddle. Never go back to the huddle and try to get down in there.
Field goal won't help. Rams need a touchdown. Offense has produced only 1 this season.
Look for the defense to play those deep zones, the prevent-type zones. They'll give them things in front of them because they only have 25 seconds to work with.
Can be a cruel sport. Michael Young dropped the football. You've got a Ram home crowd here in Anaheim chanting defense, defense.
Chanting defense, and there's not as many people here as there used to be, and it's going to be it's a tough start for that young man right there, Jim Everett. But he'll shake it off. He'll have to. That's part of the growing pains that goes into being a professional quarterback. Part of growing up as a quarterback.
Flag down. Kevin House has been no big help to Everett today.
He really hasn't had an awful lot of help in any direction. There's been people in his face all day. I think the offensive line has broken down in areas early in the game. The running game didn't help him out an awful lot. The special teams kept him in the game. The defense has kept him in the game. Offensively, he hasn't really had an awful lot of help.
Holding, number 60 on the offense, still second down.
Your best offensive lineman just picked up a holding call. Dennis Hara, 13 years in the league. Of course, in this situation, you can't afford a sack.
You can't afford a sack. No use getting your quarterback knocked around. I used to tell my guys, if you can't block them, then hold them.
Not all of them are going to be called anyway. Because of the penalty, it will now be only 3rd down.
It's about all you can do is throw the ball in that case, is throw the ball up, hope you can get some kind of deflection to get the ball up there where you can at least have a chance of scoring. Field goal won't help you here. Really, that's all you can do is hope you can make something happen in that respect, and the odds of that happening aren't very good. That's the only thing left to do now.
John Robinson had a feeling coming into the day that he was just coming off the most miserable week of his life.
I think he goes into another one. Real deep zones, real deep prevent.
That'll do it. The Los Angeles Rams, for a few minutes, appeared to have come back to win a football game in which they had started out being overmatched. But the final comeback belongs to Jerry Burns and the Minnesota Vikings. And you got to admire Robinson's ability to smile and laugh for a friend in that situation. Vikings win it 21-16. We'll be back. Well, for Ken Stabler, this is Jim Lampley saying so long from Anaheim, California, where the final score was Minnesota 21, Los Angeles 16. Don't forget, next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern Time, the NFL Today, and Week 3 of the NFL season, if there's no strike, with a full slate of exciting action. And next Saturday, we'll have a thrilling college football matchup between 5th-ranked Ohio State and 4th-ranked LSU, live at 1 p.m. Central and 11 a.m. Pacific. Also Saturday, join us for the Mercedes Mile on 5th Avenue. Check local listings. And now, goodbye. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.